I mean, take one bite, and I bet you won't stop. Hello humans of the world, and welcome back to my kitchen. On today's episode, we're going to be making a lovely quinoa salad. So this is actually really perfect for picnics in the park, to enjoy at home with friends and family, or even something to serve at a barbecue. So it's going to be a nice cold salad that's going to be a mixture of very fresh and roasted hearty vegetables mixed in with some really good ingredients such as quinoa, some chickpeas, and some feta cheese. So you're going to want to pour in about 1.5 cups of quinoa into your saucepan, and always remember to rinse your quinoa before you use it. Today I'm going to be using the blend of black, gold, and red quinoa just because I like the colors and I don't really notice a difference in the flavor, but I like how it looks. So to cook our quinoa, I like to use equal parts water and equal parts vegetable broth just because I feel like it infuses the quinoa with more flavor. And then I add a bit of salt as well as a tiny bit of butter just to avoid the sticking. Also, it's just kind of how my mom taught me how to cook grains, so I might be wrong. And this might not be the way you guys like to do it, but this is how I do it. And the way that my mom taught me to measure whether or not there's enough water inside the pot when you're cooking, I guess, quinoa or rice, is to stick your finger in the pot and then just allow the tip of your finger to touch the surface of the grains. And then if the water hits the first line on your finger, then you know you're good. A little more, well, not a little less. A little more would be okay, but a little less and you're gonna risk potentially burning your rice or drying it out. So, hydrate it. Once you've got enough liquid in the pot, you're just going to want to bring your quinoa to a steady boil, and then when you see it boiling up, I would turn the heat down to a medium heat and just allow it to simmer until it absorbs all of the liquid in there and it's a nice fluffy texture. So for this recipe, we are going to be using some fresh lettuce. You can choose any kind of lettuce that you like. We're also going to be using some chickpea, and I'm using about 1.5 cups of feta cheese. Because we did put 1.5 cups of quinoa, and that's pretty much going to expand twice the size once it's done cooking, we want to kind of have a nice balance so that it's not more grain than other ingredients. So we're also going to incorporate some roasted broccoli. So all I did was spread it on a baking pan, drizzle some olive oil on top along with some salt and pepper and some chopped garlic. I'm going to incorporate some baked sweet potato. So I just diced that all up, added some olive oil, salt, pepper, and then I grounded some brown sugar cubes because I don't have loose brown sugar. And then I just sprinkled a bit on top as well as some cinnamon. I know it sounds really weird to add cinnamon to like a salad, but cinnamon and sweet potato work so well together, and it's also going to be a little bit of a sweet surprise when you're biting into everything. So I popped that in the oven as well at 415 degrees. What I did with my roasted veggies, just so I didn't forget, was I set an alarm for 15 minutes, and after the 15 minutes mark, I just kind of tossed everything around just so everything can get that charred taste and look all around, and it's just not soggy on one side and then charred on the other side. And then you pop it back in, set it for another 15 minutes. When that's up, you pull it all out. So it's a total of 30 minutes in the oven at 415 degrees. I'm kind of winging it here, and I'm going with what my body kind of wants to taste. So I'm going to do a bit of a smoky roasted kind of dressing, which is going to be olive oil, roasted garlic. So I took a whole bulb of garlic and I just sliced the top right off. And then I sat it down in the pan and drizzled some olive oil on top. You're going to want to bake that for about 20 to 30 minutes and let that garlic turn into mush on the inside. Once you take that out and it cools down, you can actually squeeze out all of the insides to create this delicious garlicky dressing. So it's going to be olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, some fresh parsley just to offset a bit of the garlic, and I'm going to throw in a bit of basil. it's time for the fun part. We're gonna throw all of this together. So we are gonna season this chickpea just a little bit because although there's a lot of flavor going on, nobody wants to bite into a bland chickpea. So you're gonna wanna crush some salt and pepper on top, a little bit of olive oil, use a spoon and just mix it all in. So the broccoli and sweet potato actually went into the oven at the same time, although they are two different textures and need two different times to cook. I did put them in for the exact same amount of time and at the same temperature. All that did was add a lot of crunch to the broccoli and then cooked the sweet potato to perfection. I personally feel like it just adds a lot of texture to this dish and it tastes really good, to be honest with you. It's kind of like broccoli chips in a sense. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to roughly chop this lettuce just so that it's evenly distributed and it's not like huge chunks of lettuce as you're trying to mix it through the small fine quinoa. Now we're going to throw in this feta cheese. So you want to make sure there's no huge chunks of feta laying around in your pile, just because you want an even distribution of all ingredients so that you're not getting too much of something over the other. You can just use a fork to break it down, or you can just use your fingers. I'm just trying not to get my hands messy again, because if you knew how many times I have washed my hands already, my skin is screaming to stop. So we're getting, and then we're just gonna pour that in there. Oh my god, it looks so good. Alright, and it is officially time to pour our dressing over and then toss this salad. Yeah. So let's give it a nice little stir because a lot of the ingredients have already settled to the bottom and you don't want to just kind of be scooping out chunks when it can all just pour in together just like that. Go in with 2 separate spoons, 2 separate forks, whatever you have laying around to toss this salad. I feel like 2 wooden spoons, a spoon and a fork would have been really ideal. However, I do not have that, so I'm just going to use this doohickey. I don't know what it's called, so comment below if you know what this is called, because I have no clue. Oh my god, look at that, people. Look at that! Wow, it's so pretty. Oh my god, this is beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. I'm so excited. Can you guys tell on my face? Food makes me so happy, especially if it's like a delicious recipe that like is aesthetically pleasing as well. This is just the ideal picnic table, center of attention, kind of when you're hot type of food, baby. This is some soul food, and it's some cute food. Some cute soul food. All right, now that we've given that a good mix, you can put this in the fridge to chill before you're ready to serve it, or you can serve it immediately. Either way, it's gonna be delicious. But obviously don't leave it in the fridge for too long, and by too long I mean leaving it in the fridge for like a full 24-48 hours because the lettuce is gonna get soggy in there. So serve it immediately if you can. I mean, take one bite and I bet you won't stop. You already know we gotta go in for the taste test. How else are you gonna know if it's good? So you just take a nice good scoop, get a little bit of everything on there, some sweet potato, some broccoli, and some chives, and you just eat it. Oh my god! Like, I knew this was good, but holy. It's so good because with every bite, there's a new flavor hitting your taste buds. You get that charred flavor from the broccoli, then the sweetness from the sweet potato, the saltiness from the feta cheese, then you get like the tanginess from the lemon, and then just the textures mixing in with the crunch and the softness. Guys,